Hey guys, and welcome to the first video game video of the year. Well, after the review for 2018, I should say. And this first video, I wanted it to be something different, something I hadn't done before, and that's speak about my collection. I like videos on YouTube where they showcase like different games in their collection, and that's what I'm going to try to do here. Specifically today, I wanted to talk about my collection of Mana games, the Mana series. Now, I don't have the Secret of Mana remake or anything like that, but I do have a large number of Mana games that I wanted to show off. And for those that have boxes or whatever, I'll show you what I have inside the boxes. Nothing here is limited edition, but I do have a lot of objects in front of me that I wanted to talk about. So without further ado, this is my video about the Mana series in my collection. The earliest Mana game was Final Fantasy Adventure, and although I don't have a hard copy of that game, I did play it emulated years ago on the PSP. The PSP had an emulator called the Master Boy emulator, and I did play that game that way. But I did play an updated version of Final Fantasy Adventure because it was actually remade on the Game Boy Advance in a game called Sword of Mana. Sword of Mana was a very fun game. I enjoyed it. It's one of the games I actually completed last year. I really liked Legend of Mana the most, but Sword of Mana sort of harkens back to the style that we saw in Secret of Mana. And the music in this game, the enemies, they really bring nostalgia for me because I remember playing Secret of Mana as a kid. So playing this, on the train to work most days when I was playing it, just brought back like a lot of memories, and it was really fun. The next game in my collection is actually Secret of Mana. Now, Secret of Mana, which I have here, I only have the cart. I don't have anything else for it. And I played this with my wife recently as a grown-up. It was very fun to play, and I actually have the strategy guide book for it as well. The strategy guide is a bit falling apart, so I had to put tape in the back, but that's okay. The strategy guide is not like other strategy guides, like for the PlayStation 1 and other guides like that, because those guys have a lot of color images, and the walkthrough basically tells you what to do in detail. This walkthrough, as you read it, it's more of a story, and there are a few color images, but most of the book is in black and white, and it just goes to show what was available in terms of strategy guides at that time. Will I play Secret of Mana again? I don't know, but there's a lot of other Mana adventures that I haven't had that I would like to. One of those Mana adventures I would like to have is to play Seiken Densetsu 3 or Secret of Mana 2. If you've never seen this game, that's because it was never available in America. It was not released over here. Seiken Densetsu 3 was a Japanese exclusive. So how do I have this, and why does it say Secret of Mana 2? There was a company called Time Walk Games that made reproductions. Basically a lot of games that were never released here in America, and what they did was they made this reproduction cart. So it is in English, and it has everything that you need to play like 2 and 3 player games, and so that's what this is. The funny thing is that in the back it says made in Japan, it has Nintendo, and it says official Nintendo seal. So they tried to keep the packaging as close to the original as possible. But we're gonna pop this baby open and see what's inside this Time Walk Games copy of Secret of Mana 2. The funny thing is that Time Walk Games is no longer producing video games. They went out of business. So my wife had brought me this before they went out of business. I wish I had bought other things like Terranigma and other repros from them, but as you can see here, it comes with the map. Welcome to the land of Mana, it says, and the map has like all the locations and where they are located on the world map. So I think when I do get to this game, that will be extremely helpful. Of course, we have the video game here, and in the back the video game says Time Walk Games. It seems like the cartridge was painted over with this thick dark colored paint. I don't want to scratch it to verify it, but if you could just hold up another cartridge next to it, you can see that the gray is darker than a normal Super Nintendo cart. The game, I've tried it and it plays perfectly. So on top of the map and the game, which comes in the cardboard holder, this game actually comes with a manual. And this is very strange for a reproduction. Usually you buy the reproduction, it's only the cart in the box, but they actually took the time to make a manual fully in English, fully in color, and it explains a lot of the mechanics of the game, the different items, the spirits. Basically, it's a really good manual. And when I play the game, I'm going to read through the manual first, just to know what everything is about. I've never played through this game fully, so that's going to be something that I have to look forward to for both me and my wife, because we did play through Secret of Mana and Legend of Mana. I'm putting that back. This is one of the things that I prize in my collection, even though it's a repro, because of the time it took for them to make this. It's just really good quality. The next game that I want to talk about that's in my Mana collection was actually for the PlayStation 1, and this is Legend of Mana. Legend of Mana, I have it complete. You open it, it has the discs, there's the book, there's the artwork on the inside. Very beautiful game. I think it was in 2017 or in 2016 I played through it fully, and it's one of my favorite RPGs on the PS1. The artwork is just amazing. The story was funny at times. The bosses, so much work went into designing the bosses. Unfortunately, the manual is not in color. It's in black and white, but that's fine. The game itself holds up on its own. So that is Legend of Mana. Also part of my Mana collection is this music selection CD for Legend of Mana. Unfortunately, it's coming undone here. A lot of these Squaresoft music collections with the cardboard cover have this coming off on top. This isn't the first time I've seen that happen. So if you open it up, it has a little bit of a book and the actual CD, the music selection CD. And we see here on the inside a Rabbi Niccolo. If we go here, we could see the two main characters. It's under the music selections book. And if you open the music selections book, we get more artwork and just a quick little track list. There's only 5 tracks of music, but the music in this game is so beautiful that those 5 tracks, they do go a long way. I've listened to this soundtrack so much, and I really do love the music in this game. I actually listen to YouTube playlists of this music. So along with the actual game, along with the music selections, I also have the Legend of Mana strategy guide, which is also falling apart. I like to leave like these post-it notes in my strategy guide. There's a bit of tape here. The book was falling apart a little bit, so I was helping it out there. Again, this is my strategy guide. I love to use them. Keeping the guides on the shelf in pristine condition, that might be good for some collectors, but me, I like to look through them. I like to get the information from them. I like them to guide me through the game the way it was intended. This guide is actually very beautiful. It has lots of nice artwork and information. The maps really do help in this game, especially on some of the more difficult areas. I have a few gripes with the guide. Sometimes it doesn't help out as much as it should. Like, it doesn't give you the right order in which to do things to 100% the game. It doesn't tell you about the different ways you could beat the game, like the fairy ending and the gem people ending. And so that's just a little gripe that I have. But the guide itself is complete. It does have every single mission. It does have all the secrets in the game and how to get them with the save files and everything. And so in that sense, it is really cool. The next game I want to talk about, I haven't beaten, but I played and I played a little bit of it, and I do have fond memories because for the first time, the Mana series was in 3D, and I'm talking about Dawn of Mana. Now, this game, it's not as loved as the other games in the series. And I think that a lot of games, when they made the jump from 2D to 3D, they got that sort of flack. 3D on the PlayStation 1 and some of the games on the PlayStation 2 were not as good as they could have been. And I understand that. I hate Nintendo 64 games and the way they look. The 3D in this game really wasn't too bad, and the cutscenes looked really good. Let's open her up. We see that I have the game and the art book, so it is a complete copy. I hope to revisit this game probably sometime this year or next year and to complete it. But I do want to complete Secret of Mana 2 first before completing the Dawn of Mana. There's 2 more games I want to talk about very quickly here. The first one is Heroes of Mana, and the next one is Children of Mana. These are both for the Nintendo DS, and I haven't actually played either of these. My wife has played Children of Mana a little bit. I want to get into these and fully play them. I want to experience these games because a lot of the other games in the Mana series that I've played, Sword of Mana, Secret of Mana 1, Legend of Mana. I just love those games so much, and I want to re-experience the world, re-experience the enemies, the rabbits, the spirits, and so that's that. Let's open these up just to see what's inside. For Children's Mana, we do have the book, and the video game is in here as well. And for Heroes of Mana, we do have the book, and the video game is in there as well. There's one more item in my Mana collection and that I have that I want to show off, and that's this. I got this at Comic-Con this year, and it's a big rabbit plushie. You can see that, like, if I hold it next to my head, it's like bigger than my face. You know what I mean? It's huge. The ears are really big. The ears themselves are like bigger than my face. That's the comparison we have here. And I just wanted to show it off because it's not a common plushie. If we go back here, we can see that there's a Japanese text, and there's the Secret of Mana. On top it says Seiken Densetsu 2 in Japanese, and then it says Secret of Mana right below it. I will read what some of this says. I don't read Japanese necessarily, but it says here in plain English, 1993, 2018, those are the copyrights for Square Enix Company Limited. And then it has Square Enix Toys logo right here. So you can tell it's official product. And then it also says, for use as a prize in Japan. And so what that means is that they had these crane games where you can, grab a plushie and win it as a prize. So someone was selling this at Comic-Con. And I was so happy to find it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I have to have that plushie. It's so adorable. And there are other official rabbit plushies. This one was made for the Secret of Mana remake, I believe, because the year is 2018. So I think that they were banking on people playing that Secret of Mana remake, noticing the plushies in the machine and trying to grab them to win them. I was lucky enough to grab one, and I'm really happy I got this. And when I stream, I do plan on having this guy out sometimes. If you've not seen me stream, I'm streaming on twitch.tv/jmahia1187, and the link will be down in the description. You can follow me if you're watching this video. Every time I stream, I have a slightly different plushie because there's so many plushies in my collection. These plushies, I keep them put away until I stream, and then I pick out a random one to be my familiar or my friend or my co-host, whatever you want to call them, for the day. Yeah, that's basically my Mana collection. A few of the games that I don't have that I would like to eventually perhaps one day get in my collection, one of them will be Final Fantasy Adventure. That's just something that I have, in the back of my head. And a lot of times I will wait till a game has an ultimate version before buying it. But you never know which games are getting updated and which are not. And I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a comment down below. Hit that like button and subscribe for more video game related content. Thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Ciao.